Welcome to FDS MTG News for Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Expressive Iteration and White Plume Adventurer are banned in Legacy. Yeah, I know this was last week, but I'm catching up. In a rare moment where Wizards of the Coast remembered that Legacy was a format, they took a look and realized that they probably should do something about Blue-Red Delver and Mono-White Initiative. In an article that they posted on the Magic website, they said both of those decks were taking up a larger percentage of the meta than they like to see. By banning these two cards, Wizards hopes that they hobble both of those decks and allow other archetypes to fill in the void. 8th place Dave is the new Seance Guy. Yeah, if you were following this, I did a story a couple weeks back, but a very quick recap is that somebody was attempting to manipulate the market by purchasing every copy of Seance they could get their hands on. And then this person offered to pay people money to burn their copies of Seance and provide proof. Soon after, they also offered to pay a professional Magic player who would be playing in the Pro Tour to try and build a deck surrounding the card Seance. For the longest time, we all kind of thought of it as a fun story in the Magic community, but earlier this year, someone found a listing for over 10,000 copies of Seance. Why am I talking about it now? Because the content creator 8th place Dave was the one who purchased those cards. In a video he posted on his channel, he detailed how he found the cards. He also detailed the history of the Seance Guy, and also is doing a Patreon drive where you can own a copy of Seance of one of this massive stockpile. Link in the description down below. I thought my previous story would be the final chapter in the Seance story, but it looks like there was an epilogue. I have new merch! I'm not wearing it because it hasn't arrived in the mail yet, but you can get your own t-shirts in the merch shelf down below, or check out my spread shop, link also down below. Wizards of the Coast is going to release one of the rarest Magic cards in existence. On March 14th, Wizards revealed on their weekly MTG stream, during the first look for Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, that collector boosters will include a chance to pull a serialized ring card. Most of the serialized cards are variations of Sol Ring. There will be 300 for the Elven, 700 for the Dwarven, and 900 for the human. For the whole, 3 for the Elven Kings under the sky, 7 for the Dwarf Lords in their halls of stone, 9 for the mortal men doomed to die. And then there will be one to rule them all. Yes, they are releasing a variant of the One Ring, and it will be one of one. It will be the only copy in existence. There have already been offers given for whoever pulls it. Most assuredly, that number is going to go up. Few cards have ever had one printing, let alone a card that was released into the wild. It will be very interesting to see how quickly, or even if, this card gets opened, considering how many people purchase these collector boosters and then sit on them for years. And I would only imagine the longer it goes for the One Ring not being pulled, the higher the cost of those collector boosters. This week on the Magic MTG stream, they revealed new cards for the new Lord of the Rings set. In the first look, Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. This first look is really for local game stores, so that way they can decide how much of the product they want to order. And the answer to that is all of the product. They should just order all of it, all they can get their hands on. Personally, I predict this set is going to sell extremely well, especially if the Warhammer 40k decks are any indication. And if I would venture a guess, the Lord of the Rings fanbase dwarfs the Warhammer 40k universe. Pardon the pun. Well, we did get a look at Gandalf the Grey and the One Ring in an article from IGN. On the actual stream, we got to see a lot more. They did say that this set's power level will be a little lower compared to previous sets that were released into Modern, and they also announced that fetch lands will not be part of this set. This week in Magic, Masters 25 released 5 years ago in 2018. Masters 25 was a highly anticipated Modern Masters set that was released to celebrate Magic's 25th anniversary. Masters 25 included cards from all of the sets in Magic's history. Unsets and reserve list cards were not included, obviously. The set featured some major reprints like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Chalice of the Void, and Imperial Recruiter. At the time, Imperial Recruiter had only been printed in Portal 3 Kingdoms, so the only copy of the card was north of $300 at the time. The Portal 3 Kingdoms version is still worth over $140, while the Masters 25 version is worth about $7. I think that's fair. Unfortunately, Masters 25 didn't do very well in terms of sales, but a lot of people speculate it was because iconic Masters, another Masters set that was to celebrate the iconic cards from Magic's history released only 4 months prior. The lower sales and close proximity and timing of release is also considered the reason why 9 months later, when they released Ultimate Masters, that they stated that Ultimate Masters would be the last Masters set released in a while, a promise they kept for just over 2 years when they announced Double Masters in 2020. And in Wizards' defense, they never said they were going to stop creating Masters sets, they just realized that they were hitting the gas a little too hard and they needed to pull it back a bit, which sounds very familiar considering recent news.
So we've heard a lot of feedback lately related to two things. We've actually heard a lot of feedback related to a lot of things, but I'm going to talk about two things today. One is the prevalence of preview season, and the other is releases being on top of one another. So we are making some slight changes to adjust for that, including this quick preview season for DMR and some shifts for Phyrexia All Will Be One.
So that was Masters 25, a set so memorable I spent most of the segment talking about other Masters sets. That about does it for today. Like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok and Twitter, FDS_MTG. Also, you can follow my Patreon, FDSCIP there, and be sure to check out my merch. Y'all have a wonderful day. Don't click on stuff like join or subscribe or a shirt that you want to buy. That'd be cool. Welcome to FDS MTG News for Thursday, March 16th. Welcome to FDS MTG News for Thursday, November. No, not November. Oh god, it feels like it's been that long. Okay. You can't see this because I fixed it in editing, but the new camera I got, and lens really, has a massively wide angle shot. Just to give you a sample of the shot that it gives you. This is the shot you see. This is the shot I see. And it bothers the hell out of me. I feel all wonky. These are things I must get used to. Okay. But now you're seeing my doofy face in 4K. In a rare moment where they took a look and decided that they should about Blue Red Delver and Mono Right. I have new shirts. You can check them out in the merch shelf down below, or you can go to my stream that Wizards held on their Twitch stream. While we did get a look at Gandalf the Grey and the One Ring a day before in an article by RGN, Masters 25 was 25 notable cards from the different sets across Magic's history. This show is part of the CIP network, inspiring creativity, one episode at a time.